Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. Hope everybody is having a great morning. And there have been some things that have popped up over the last day with my video going up yesterday for the first time after a long break. And I have noticed that there are some things that need to be addressed again. Some things that I really had not thought of, and I really should have. And that is that a lot of people that are actually commenting on the Virgo Triad channel are now starting to ask questions about what exactly are these crazy secret accounts they're talking about. I don't understand. What does TDA mean? What are these things that you are debunking? And I realize that there are well over 200 videos that debunk the scam of last year. But because we have spent so much time researching those things and the scam artists that have come up with new ideas for those things that have already got people caught up in their, paying for packages and caught up in their rabbit hole of lies, that we really haven't covered what this scam is about in a very long time. There is an example here of I kind of explained to you guys a little bit yesterday about the massive amount of comments that are coming in that are very clearly geared in one direction only, and that has been orchestrated by an outside party that has requested for them to do this. I wanted to show you, I found again yesterday a total of 13 comments done by Elizabeth D. Francesca. And there are a bunch of things in these comments that we need to address. But one of the things that is important that I want to make sure everybody knows about is the fact that in a lot of these comments, it's almost like they are robotically coming over and making statements that are the same over and over again. And then they almost kind of get a clue as to, wait a minute, what am I even asking about here? You're not making yourself clear on the video. What are these secret accounts? What are you even debunking at this point? So to ensure that nobody gets confused, I want to kind of start there. I'm not going to go over these comments in this video. I'm going to address these comments in a second video because there are so many of them from one individual person. But within these comments, again, asks the question. So, as you guys know, I have been working on a campaign for VirgoTriad.com, which is a GoFundMe campaign that is for the purpose of putting up a actual website that has a debunking index and that will show up in the search engines right alongside any misinformation that is there's the possibility of people getting confused. And I want to show you an example of how that's happening. Okay, now I'm going to warn those of you that have been watching the Virgo Triad channel for any length of time. This is going to make you shudder when you see what's happening here. So let's say that somebody from the outside of, any of the circles that have had anything to do with questioning the secret accounts, outside of the circles of the gurus and really has not been paying attention to any of the con artists' claims of this conspiracy theory, runs across one of the Virgo Triad videos that talks about, say, for example, the secret accounts. And they hear me refer to it as the TDA account, or even worse, they hear April Lejeune refer to this as the TDA account. So they go to Google and they simply type in, what is a TDA account? First of all, you come up with 4,700,000 results, and the very first thing that comes up states this: while these accounts are most definitely real, the government never tells us they exist. A social security number is not just a government ID, it's also the account number for your personal account, allegedly known as a Treasury Direct account, TDA. Shocking. Shocking. It's even more shocking when you look at exactly what it is that is coming up very first in the Google search. You're coming up with a website called RTS Earth. The name of this article is Free Money, Utilizing Your Treasury Direct Account, Understanding the Law, Risks, and Potential Consequences. As you can see, they go into great detail talking about the TDA accounts. They go into the consumer scam alert about the Federal Reserve routing numbers to pay bills, in which they actually quote the Federal Reserve making the statements about the trouble you could get into if you use this in an attempt for ACH. Then you go into an overview. The video no longer exists, has probably been removed by YouTube. These accounts are secret, goes into all of the information about that. The accounts are also held in trust for you, but you don't really have the authority to use them. Access to these accounts might be a glitch in the new electronic and automated financial system. How the cabal remains in power and what you need to do to stop it. It goes into all of this information, talks about birth certificate monetization and death estates that are seized and traded by the government. And after you get through reading all of this, the pingback reads, sovereign citizenship. So what does this mean? This means that the very, very first thing on Google, when somebody goes in and researches what is a TDA account, they are getting this information. Now, after they get that information, they immediately get videos, April to June, videos that are from back in 2017 talking about how to access your TDA. They're talking about how what a TDA account is in the sovereign citizen world, of course. Then there is TDAaccount.org, which of course belongs to April to June. And so when you are researching, this is what you're coming up with. You're not coming up with the fact that TDA stands for Treasury Direct Account, and a Treasury Direct Account is a real thing, but you have to actually be the one to purchase the securities yourself before you open a Treasury Direct Account. There's nothing secret about it. They don't go into the fact that there's a Federal Bureau of Investigation piece of information out there in their scam alert online that says that these things are false and will get you into a lot of trouble. They don't go into the Treasury website where it warns you, or even the Treasury Direct website where it warns you about these. It doesn't bring up anything that says that the Social Security, your Social Security number is a direct account number for you for your Social Security benefits. It doesn't correct any of this. It simply tells you, yeah, well, the accounts are definitely real, but the government is telling you that they don't exist, or they're not telling you about them at all, and that your Social Security number is not just a government ID. It also is an account number that belongs to you for your secret trust account that you're not being told about. Now, it gets worse. It gets worse. Because if you just search TDA account, this is what you come up with. 5,520,000 results. And directly under it, it says, a Social Security number is not just a government ID. It's also the account number for your personal account, allegedly known as Treasury Direct Account. Completely inaccurate information leads you directly to a sovereign citizen website, leads you directly to falsified information. But how is anyone going to know that? How is anyone going to know that? There's very few people, websites, or anything that are actually taking a stand to put it out there that these things are scams, that these are falsities. And there's more and more sovereign citizen websites going up every single day. I wanted to show you guys this because the confusion that people are starting to have, because so many of the con artists have dropped off selling these packages now because they've been found out, or they've gone to jail, or they've been threatened to be charged with something and they've gotten scared, or they've taken it onto a smaller platform so not as many people are seeing it. With the those people going down in numbers, we are now starting to see people go up in numbers that want to know what these things are. And at the risk of sounding like I'm plugging my own campaign here, I wanted to show you guys exactly how important it is that we get something that has a strong enough push as a platform of real, honest truth and fact of what these things are. This is just an example. I mean, we can go into all kinds of other scams and talk about examples of those. You know, you start looking up stuff on Jillian Epperly and her protocol, and you start finding things like sauerkraut recipes, where people automatically think, well, sauerkraut's not dangerous, so how can this protocol be dangerous? There is no platform like what I'm talking about. None at all. It's not a small website. I'm talking about a very large platform that allows for search engine optimization that will stop this kind of thing from happening. I've had some questions as to, well, why would it be so expensive? It would be so expensive because it's going to require its own server. It's got so many facets to it that it's going to require someone to be on it constantly, updating, ensuring that all the information is accurate. We are going to have a victims fund on there. We're going to have support groups on there. We're going to have a debunking index on there. And mainly, we need to have tech support on there to where when people are searching for what a TDA account is, it can combat this crap that is coming up. And this is on the Google search engine. And again, remember what I said. 5,520,000 results come up. And about 10% of those, if that, are debunking these falsities. About 10%. The rest of it, all sovereign citizen mumbo jumbo. You see, if you think about this logically, you're going to understand the reason why TDA account was used. Now, the claim is that Harvey Dent coined the TDA account. But if you go back and you listen to the Heather Antucci giraffe tapes, she talks about TDA. Because Treasury Direct accounts are a real thing, and they are available for people. They're not secret. There's nothing secret about them, but they are available on treasurydirect.org. That would be something that would catch on and would be impossible in their mind to debunk, because TDA accounts from Treasury Direct are real. And the more that people started using TDA account in the search engines, putting up their own blogs, putting up information that they thought that they could make money off of by, falling into this scam themselves. The more thousands and thousands of people last year started using this information, the more it went further and further and further to the top on Google. And look where we are and how many results that there are. These two searches are what is TDA account and just simply TDA account. You come up with a wealth of information, all handed to you by the cherry-picking law gods of the sovereign citizens. I can debunk all day long on Virgo Triad channel this information. I can debunk it all day long. And I'm going to be lucky to hit 1% of the people that are going to search this garbage on Google. And then they become even more vulnerable to the April LaJune scam, even more vulnerable to the people that are out there on the radio shows talking about, all of these secret accounts and everything that links together with it. Right to travel without a driver's license, all of these things. This is how serious this is, you guys. And this is the reason why, as you know, I take what I do very seriously, because if there ever becomes a time that you guys don't feel that it is that serious, then I'm wasting my time, see? So I have to take what I'm doing very, very seriously. This is how important it is to get VirgoTriad.com up. This is how important it is, because you're going to have more and more people that are going to become confused and become victims of scams, but there's going to be even more people that get infiltrated into the little system of sovereign citizenship. And what does that mean for us that know that these things are not true? It means that the next person that hits us in an automobile accident may not be insured or even have a driver's license because they've been following YouTube videos that they found because of a Google search. It means that we may have people walking in to the UCC Secretary of State offices and filing UCC liens to bog up the system against us instead of just against judges and clerks and people that they get angry at with the courts and police officers. It means the more that they fall down these rabbit holes and get more and more angry about lies about the government, the less that the real things that need to be dealt with the government get dealt with. It affects all of us. The more people that turn in A4V presentments to the IRS, the more that it's costing the taxpayers to have to deal with the paperwork that goes along with filing charges against those people, against those specific people, or collecting those $5,000 fines for the ones that just simply won't stop. And what about the ones that get angry because they really believe that this should be something that works? Isn't the world already hostile enough? Can you imagine when you get somebody who already has an anti-government face on around a group of people that are suggesting that certain court buildings need to be taken off the map because of the fraud that's going on, that the Federal Reserve needs to be taken off the map because of things that are going on. And these things, see, the difference is that may be true in a lot of cases, and there's ways to deal with that, but lies are not the ways, and this is a lie. And this is a bad lie. A very bad lie. One that has a tendency to literally piss off everyone. And it's not just here, folks. It's in the UK, and it's spreading. And that is why in my ebook, I talk about the difference between the year 2009 and the year 2018. At one point, we had less than 100,000 people talking about these types of things, and mainly it going around the jailhouses and the jailhouse lawyers talking about these bonds and these secret accounts. Now we have over 2 million. And the number's growing daily. And this is how they're growing the number. Now, I know that one of the things that I talked about with this actual video was that I wanted to make sure that people understood what these accounts were. And I think this sentence does a pretty good job of explaining it. There are groups out there that are telling people that your birth certificate is monetized. That when you were born, your mother and father were tricked into signing a birth certificate over to the state, that you belong to the state, that you're a slave. Not true. None of it's true. They will even tell you, look, on the bottom of your birth certificate, it says that, that there's a American Banknote Company. Yes, that's the printing company that prints security paper. They're going to tell you that you've been traded on at the stock market your whole life. But when you ask one of them to give you a ticker symbol and show you where you can look up what you're worth, they give you bogus information and they can't provide a ticker symbol. The Virgo Triad channel has spent a full year debunking these lies to come to this scenario where we have people claiming that these accounts are definitely real, but the government has lied to you. See, this was never about anything but stealing. Never about anything but stealing, with one caveat to that actual agreement there: making people angry to add to the anti-government community. Not just in a small way, in a big way. People are already leery of the government and have good reason to be. So they just added this great big lie to it and figured people would just swallow it and go on. And in the meantime, they're taking money for packages that don't work and scamming people out of money to make you even more angry. Because what they really want is an anarchist world. What they really want is a revolution where you don't get all the facts. You're just told enough to be really, really angry so that you will stand on that side and fight. When it's all over with, then you'll realize, wow, I guess I wasn't told the truth. But it isn't going to matter at that point in their mind. This has been a movement for the last 40 years. It keeps changing hands and they tweak things to make it slightly different. But make no mistake, this is the sovereign movement. This is the patriot movement. And these are no patriots. This was born out of a bigoted, racist past. This was something that was created by a white supremacist. And when you find out the history of what this movement is actually all about, it will make you sick to your stomach. I know I've rambled a bit this morning and I'm going to cut this off here, but I am hoping that you guys understand the reason why I am pushing so hard for the VirgoTriad.com campaign. We need it to go up faster. We need to be as proactive as possible. And I encourage you to please, whether it's $1 or $100, please try to give something to the campaign so that we can try to get this database up for people, get this website up for people, help people to stop falling for this disaster of a scam and many, many others. If there's nothing there like this to stop people, nothing but sovereign citizen web pages and blogs for them to read, that's where they're going to get their information because nobody goes to the library anymore. And the Virgo Triad channel can only reach a very small percentage of them the way that it is right now. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. And hopefully you guys understand the reason why there is such a heavy push for me. It isn't for me personally. It is because I've spent a year trying to help you guys, and I've got thousands and thousands of viewers that I feel like are there backing me so that I can do something more to stop this from happening. As you see, the wheels of justice turn very slowly. It took years for them to catch up to Winston Stroud. It took years for them to catch up to Leighton, whatever his name is, Warden Leighton Warden, whatever his name is, that just got sentenced. It took years for them to catch up to Roger Elvig. And it will probably take years for them to catch up to April Lejeune. And by then, when you're talking about $30,000 a month, it will be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars she will have stolen from people. Please share. Share the campaign. Share it on your Facebook. Share it on Twitter. Share it wherever you can. Talk to your friends and family about what is happening in our country right now. All right, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day. There will probably be another video that goes up today. If not, it will be first thing in the morning. And, I just appreciate everybody's help to try and get this up and running and try and get as much help out there for people. All right. Take care. Have a nice afternoon. Bye-bye.